Hey guys, this is SansCorpsTarot, and today I have a pick a group reading for you about your future spouse's sexual history, or like their sexual past, or their sexual experience, or just what their relationship is to sex up until you guys coming together. So we have 3 groups for you today. These are 3 rocks. So group 1, we have a nice little piece of cement that I just found on the ground that I thought was really cool. So I took it. I think it's like part of a sidewalk. Pile 2, we have part of the Berlin Wall, and I got this in Germany, but like at a gift shop. And it came in like a little plastic container, so I'm not sure if it's truly a piece of the Berlin Wall or not. And then pile number 3, this is just a random rock that I found on the ground that I like because it's so like curvy and bent. Like, look at that. And it's also very smooth. So you guys take the time, meditate on the energy that you think your future spouse will have. Maybe specifically if you have an idea in mind of what you feel like their sexual energy will be like. And then go to whichever group you feel like has that energy. And I will see you guys in your readings. Bye. Hey, pile number 1, if you chose this beautiful piece of cement that I found on the ground, this will be your reading all about your future spouse's not relationship history, sexual history / sexual past / just in general sort of their relationship to sex and the things in the past that's led to that relationship. So first of all, let me tell you that immediately what I accidentally kept referring to you guys as in my head is channel number 1 instead of pile number 1. So honestly what I'm getting from that is that I think your future spouse probably watched a lot of porn. Yeah, just to probably, I don't know, it's probably what when they were younger to like learn about it. I feel like maybe sex was a little taboo. I mean, I feel like for a bunch of people, like most people in most places, sex is pretty taboo, especially when you're younger. It's very much saved for like older people, and with the internet and everything, I feel like your future spouse probably, when they were first starting out their sexual awakening, when they were first sort of getting in touch with their sexuality, I feel like they did sort of probably consume a fair amount of porn to learn about it. So that may have given them, honestly, a little bit of a skewed sense of sex. But I don't know, that's just a little bit of my opinion that I'm projecting in there. So let's actually see. Let's get some cards just about pile number 1's. Immediately I cut the deck and I see the Lovers, so let's flip that over. But yeah, so let's see what pile number 1's future spouse's relationship to sex is. Alright, let's see. Pile number 1. Ooh, this just flopped out. King of Pentacles. So honestly, this card for some reason, it kind of gives me a wintry vibe, but like especially right now for some reason, especially when it sort of floated out like that, like a snowflake, it gave me a winter vibe. So that gives me a few messages. I feel like, yeah, they definitely had a little bit of a cold, detached, relationship to sex. I feel like in the beginning, probably not helped by the amount of porn that they consumed, but also maybe, specifically maybe around like, I don't know, the holidays. Maybe that's, when some, like, important stuff went down, or, like, the winter time in general. Maybe that's, like, when they lost their virginity or something, or maybe that's just, for some reason, it's, like, I don't want to say that they, watched more porn in the winter, but maybe they did. But King of Pentacles is telling me, I think that they did see sex sort of like as a thing, as something to experience. It wasn't so much of like a feeling, or I think that at first they definitely did have less of a romantic attachment to the idea of sex, and more of like a, this is something that I can do that will like sort of, I don't know, this is something I can do that all the people around me are doing. Sort of, this is like the, not expected thing, but I feel like it's, this is such a weird message to come out, but I feel like this is someone, like, maybe this is someone who went to a school where, like, fads were very popular, or, like a school, like, easily sort of swayed by the status quo. For some reason, like, that song about status quo, like, Go With The Status Quo from High School Musical 2, I think, is coming to mind. I think it's High School Musical 2, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that maybe, so maybe they just, their school was something, or their environment in general growing up, there was just a lot of pressure to, like, fit in and do certain things and buy certain things and act a certain way, and I feel like sort of sex or sexual experiences were just sort of another, way of conformity almost, like, which is a very weird, detached, transactional way of thinking about it, but I mean, that is sort of like what the King of Pentacles is telling me, especially like the fact that the winter energy was coming out. I feel like, yeah, I feel like they could have been, like, just introduced to sex or, like, sexuality very young, and I feel like, not to say, like, you know, the topic of sexuality is, like, inappropriate or anything, but I think that sort of their taboo attitude and, like, their environment's taboo attitude surrounding sexuality, I feel like did make it feel very, I don't know, yeah, taboo. It made sexuality feel like something inappropriate a little bit. Okay, one card fell on the floor. Ooh, you guys, oh my god, you guys. Hold on, so I need to get some clarifiers now. We had King of Pentacles and then Temperance, and I had to, like, climb underneath my table because the Queen of Pentacles was just lodged down there. So you guys, let's see. Well, first of all, I'm going to get one more card because the beautiful balance is, like, telling me, oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, that's it. I need one more card because I tried to give them... Okay, let's get actually just one more card. Because then the Nine of Cups came out, and I'm like, it's still seeming good. So, because honestly, what I was getting is, like, this is pretty good energy, you guys, honestly. So it's... I'm not feeling really much bad with this. I mean... Like... Hold on. Okay, I'll clarify. Ooh, okay. So here we go. Yeah, so... I'm sorry, I'm being so vague and, like, not talking to you guys because this is just, like, a lot of stuff to channel, but I mean, naturally. I think this person honestly has had a very extensive sexual past. The first thing that I was thinking of before I finished laying down the cards was, I think this person's probably sexuality or sexual journey probably started quite young. For some reason I'm getting the age specifically 14. Maybe that's something relevant for you guys. Maybe that's literally the age they lost their or lost their virginity. Or maybe it's the age they, like, discovered their sexuality or something. But I think that their journey started quite young. I feel like for, like, 14, yeah, I don't know. You know, probably younger for some of you, probably older for some of you. Take what resonates, of course. But I feel like it started, or it just feels to them like it started young. And so I feel like they've had quite a long journey with it. And I think that at first it did start out sort of as something detached, but then really what I'm getting is guys, that, like, the beautiful symmetry of King of Pentacles, Temperance, which is telling you balance, and then Queen of Pentacles, which is very much the exact balance of the King of Pentacles, because the King and Queen of Pentacles, they're a pair, they're a match. It's telling me that they fell in love with someone. I think that maybe they were experiencing something like they were just, you know, having sex willy-nilly. Like, it is giving me the vibe of, I'm not getting the energy of, like, a player, but it's just giving me the energy of, like, a horny young kid who's, like, just discovered sex and sexuality for the first time, and so they're just, like, going around trying to hook up with, like, anyone that they could. But it's gonna give me the vibe that, like, I think that they fell in love. You guys, let's of course clarify these cards, but yeah, I think that they fell in love. And then, so after the Queen of Pentacles came out, I tried to shuffle another card because I was like, oh my gosh, I mean, is that just the end of the story? Like, is this, like, did they just end up with this person? Like, are you this person that they fell in love with? I mean, is that, like, the end of this story? But I'm feeling like, no, this is something that, actually just was sort of in their past. I think that they did, guys, some of you, they may have been, like, high school sweethearts with, like, you know, the person that they lost their virginity to or something. Like, it's giving me the energy, I'm going to clarify all these cards, but it's giving me the energy right now that they, like, they were having, like, they were hooking up, like, a lot just with random people. And then sort of one of the people they just randomly hooked up with, they ended up, I don't know, like, just clicking with them, you know? Like, while they were hooking up with them, yeah, the Lovers, again, keeps coming out when I'm, like, cutting the deck and shuffling and stuff. But, yeah, I think that they were, I don't know, it's giving me the vibes of, like, someone who, I feel like this is a person who maybe they went to a bunch of high school parties and they were, like, in this crowd of people or this group of friends who maybe they all hooked up with, like, mutual friends or something. And I feel like this person, I feel like one of those mutual friends, they were just, like, going through the rotation, like, hooking up with, like, other people in their friend group, basically, or other people in their community that they knew. And then eventually they got to this one person that was just, like, that they just had a connection with. And it's, I don't know, it feels like it started out as just, like, a little spark. It really does feel like a story of, like, puppy love, you guys. Like, it feels like a very, like, stereotypical romance energy. Oh my god. And then we have the Empress card, clarifying temperance. Yeah, so, yeah, you guys. Oh my gosh. I mean, okay. Let's finish all of these. Oh my god. Alright. So, ooh, oh my god, you guys. Okay, so for some of you, truly, this could be about you, you know? Like, maybe if you guys do have, like, a story like this, like, if you were, like, maybe, like, high school sweethearts, or, like, you had, like, in your youth, you had, like, you were just, like, maybe had someone that you were hooking up with, but then, like, somehow you guys just, like, fell in love, like, very suddenly, it feels like. And it does feel like a storybook romance of, like, you guys had sex, you hooked up sort of flippantly, and then you guys just had, like, a little spark between you, like, during that hookup, and then that just sort of caused you guys to continue hooking up with each other, and then you guys sort of just, like, fell deeper and deeper in love with each other. And I looked at my timer and it was 12:12 exactly when I looked at it. So that may be a synchronicity for you guys, especially if, like, maybe your person was born on the 12th, you or them were born on the 12th, or in December. I mean, yeah, I think this could be confirmation. But yeah, but if this isn't about you, I think that this is someone from their past that they fell in love with, you know? So this is someone, yeah, they had a fairly detached view of sex, or they sort of just did see it as an experience, see it as something to do, something to gain, you know, something fun. They saw it as, you know, like the same thing as, like, just going out, like, to a club or something, you know? They were like, oh, tonight I'm gonna, like, hook up with a person, you know? It was just, like, another event almost in their mind. That's what the Three of Pentacles is giving me. But then, I mean, I think that there's some energy of, like, it feels like all of those, like, sexual escapades in the past, like, just sort of, like, channeling this energy, it feels like those sexual escapades were, like, fast forwarded, and then, like, the majority of this reading is about, like, one relationship, like, one sexual relationship that they had, that they cared about so much. I mean, the Temperance being clarified by the Empress card, I mean, it's just telling me that this is someone that they wanted a family with. And then Queen of Pentacles being clarified by the Six of Cups. Yeah, guys, like, this is someone that they envision their future with, you know? Especially because I think it was made all the more important because it felt like they weren't really looking for anything. And then they were just sort of confronted face to face with, like, exactly the picture perfect person, or so they thought. And I feel like this was the energy this is giving me. I feel like right now it's definitely their energy I'm channeling, because it's giving me the vibes of, like, everything was so good and then something, like, the rug was ripped out from underneath. So I don't know, like, it feels like they were cheated on or something. I mean, so take what resonates. I feel like, honestly, there's not so much negative energy, so I feel like that could be just for some of you guys. Maybe they were cheated on, and that's what just sort of caused, like, the facade of this relationship to come crumbling down. But for a lot of you, I feel like this was a genuine relationship. This was, like, true love, and just for some reason, like, they had to separate. Like, I don't know, this could be, I mean, for those of you who resonate with high school sweethearts, like, maybe someone moved away to college, or just someone moved away in general after high school, and, like, physically they separated. But yeah, I'm feeling like there were years spent with this person, like in a sexual way, and I feel like for most of you guys it was like a real relationship, but I feel like for most of you guys, all like really it doesn't even matter what this the status of this like relationship was. I feel like for maybe some of you this was just like sort of a very consistent friends with benefits, but like someone that your future spouse truly did fall in love with and they knew that they fell in love with. But even if they did just stay friends with benefits, this is someone that they never pictured parting from, that they if it was up to them, they would have stuck by their side, kept the same type of relationship. I feel like for a lot of you guys it could be mixed, because I feel like for some of you truly you are this person, because the Page of Wands is a relationship card to me, and the Six of Cups does speak of like reunion, but also like soulmate reunion. So not like the toxic person coming back, but like, you know, a nice beautiful soul coming back. But we do have like the Tower. We do have the Tower. So it's telling me, you know, a breakup occurred and it was not what this person had planned. So we have the Seven of Coins, Seven of Pentacles, clarifying the King of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this relationship was something that I feel like they were, you know, having like just very nonchalant sex for a while. I feel like this was the person who maybe, yeah, I feel like they just genuinely, like, they weren't in the market. Like, they didn't care to date people. They didn't care to have romantic connections. This is giving me, like, seriously, guys, I can't get over the energy that I feel like this future spouse met this person in school or, like, in a program, or while they, like, I don't know, like, because it's giving me the vibe of they just had other things to focus on. It's giving me the energy of, like, a young kid who just, like, they had their entire life in front of them, and they sort of just, like, discovered sex and everything, and they were like, oh my gosh, let's just go out and, like, bang everything I can that lets me. And, you know, they were just, they just weren't even thinking about commitment. They were in a very young, immature almost energy, and then they met this person and it was like it just changed the game. It's giving me, yeah, because I feel like this person was just in such an immature energy. I feel like for most of you guys they had to have been in school or something, or, you know, maybe they were like in a job or an apprenticeship, but they were like just starting out, you know. And because I feel like they were having sex very flippantly for a good chunk of time. And Two of Swords, clarifying Temperance and the Empress. Yes, so they did not see. I feel like they assumed this relationship was a little more balanced than it is, which is especially interesting because this next row of, like, tarot, this is like the one that's getting a little more intense. So we have the Seven of Cups, clarifying the Queen of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups, which is so interesting because 6 and then 7. Yeah, so there's some... Yeah, there was a disappointment in this connection, obviously, because I think even if it's you guys who is this person that's watching this, and you're the person that your future spouse sort of, like, you know, had this really important sexual connection with, I think that you're just someone who, I mean, yeah, you guys broke up. I don't think that you guys have been together since then consistently. I think that there was a period of separation with you guys. We have the Four of Swords. Yeah. Let's get one more card to clarify. Yeah, it's so interesting because this next row, like the final row of tarot, is the one that is really intense. And then we have Death, which is so interesting. So yeah, that's telling me again, this cycle could have very much been with you guys. Death talks about, you know, death and rebirth. So I think that this could definitely be with you guys, that this, you know, you're the person that your future spouse had this really important true love sexual connection with. But regardless, I think that you're still the energy of rebirth. I think that since they had this connection with this person, it was so intense, and it sort of, it made sex a lot more important to them because they did fall in love with this person. This person did become their world. They became their 9 of Cups. Like, they truly did. And I feel like when this person left, it felt like all 9 of these cups sort of walking away from them willingly. And it just forced sex to be something in their mind that was very sacred now. And it tainted it in a way. So because the sex with this person was so beautiful and so meaningful because they truly fell in love with them, I think that also that sort of left a bittersweet taste in their mouth after this person walked away from them, or after this connection inevitably ended, because they at first had such a detached view of sex, and then it became so sacred and something that they just sort of, something synonymous with the deep eternal love bond that they felt for this person. They felt that their sexual relationship was so intertwined with their with their soul bond with this person, with their connection, their romantic connection. And then when this person was ripped away from them, they felt like, they just sort of almost resented the beauty that sex had for them in that relationship in a way. And I think that they shut down a little bit. I think that, maybe they didn't, directly go celibate for most of you guys, but I feel like for a lot of you guys, they did actually, they did have, I don't know, they actually, for a lot of you, they may have felt like they were forced into celibacy. I feel like for a lot of you, they tried to have sex, but then they sort of got really upset by it because they just sort of had flashbacks of this person and this connection, and sort of how, it was upsetting, I feel like this relationship really also, opened this person's eyes to, emotions, and, how they are sort of an emotional, sensitive person, They did become... They did it, they felt like they came into union with their counterpart. And so, for them to even feel that way ever, even if it was about the wrong person, they obviously are a pretty, lovey-dovey, mushy-gushy person. Because it's, you can't be like a true apathetic King of Pentacles and then also, just fall head over heels for a person like this person did. But let's see, specifically sex, though. Let's try to get some 18 plus messages. I feel like, the main message with you guys is that really, sex is now colored, with love for them. So now, sex is sort of something a little meaningful to them, or they've just had a very meaningful journey with it. A journey very much intertwined with their love life. So we have pulling out. Ooh, okay, so... honestly, for some of you guys, maybe this was a pregnancy or a pregnancy scare, or just some sort of I don't know, some sort of brutal reality check that caused this relationship to end. Permanent orgasm face disorder, but there was an energy definitely that this person, they're a horny person. We already got that. They watched a lot of porn. I feel like they probably did have a stereotypical King of Pentacles type energy, where they they're a little bit like the Emperor in bed. They like to take control. I think they do have a little bit of a stereotypical masculine energy, but also a very soft, loving energy. And so I feel like their relationship energy, I feel like they're devoted to their partner. And I feel like that translates into the bedroom as well. And so I feel like it's they'll take control, but in a dominant yet very submissive way also. It's they'll take control, but they'll take control in exactly the way you want them to take control, They'll they really want to please their partner, definitely. And so I'm getting that they had a lot of sex with this person. German dungeon porn. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, so this is just telling me once again, I think that they dove deep into porn, you guys. So I feel like, honestly, this person has a pretty, I don't know, I feel like they have a pretty extensive sexual past. I feel like specifically with this partner, I think that they did a lot of sex. They did a lot of sex. They did a lot of sexual things. They had a good amount of, they played out a fair amount of their, sexual fantasies because they were young, they were in love, and, they had their bodies to explore with each other. And so it was definitely an energy of why not, YOLO, let's do this. And that made sex so fun and so freeing and sexually liberating for your future spouse. But then, yeah, it also left it a little bittersweet when this person, you know, left them inevitably. Alright, so 2 more cards. We have a man on the brink of orgasm. Yeah. So this guy, I mean, maybe your future spouse is a guy, but this person, yeah, they're definitely they're very horny. They're very horny, but yeah, once again, like right now, they're restraining themselves. I think that like also they've been through a little journey when it comes to sex. I don't know if your person is older, maybe they just have like an energy of being really mature, but I feel like they've like mentally, like internally, emotionally, they've gone through quite a journey when it comes to sex. I feel like, you know, yeah, they were like a horny little effer when they were younger, and then they met this person they fell in love with, and then they just became like sexually devoted to this person, and then this person, like, you know, they broke up, they left each other, you know, ripped away from each other, and this person, like, you know, maybe they tried to have sex with other people, but then it left them feeling really upset, really empty, and then I think that they did have to take some time to maybe be a little celibate, but just like go into hermit mode a little bit mainly. And I feel like now they have sort of like a very healthy relationship with sex by the time you guys meet or come back into union or something. I feel like they, you know, they don't have sex with anyone, but they recognize that sex is something that they can enjoy, you know? Maybe it's not something to be so detached from that they were when they were super young, but it's also, you know, it's not only something that's like has to have such a hugely sacred meaning and that it had for them in this relationship. So we also have a defective condom. Yeah, you guys. So this really could have been a pregnancy scare. Maybe this person has a child. Maybe, yeah, but I feel like for some of you guys, like pregnancy or the possibility of pregnancy was probably in, you know, their sexual history. I feel like there could have been an instant of having a pregnancy scare, or because I think that this person like did have a lot of sex. They were definitely very, very horny. Yeah, so let's get some final messages. Let's get some messages about, yeah. Some final messages about Pile 1's future spouse's relationship to sex. Ooh. Oh my gosh, Food on Roots, you guys. I think that they could have had threesomes, or they could want a threesome. Or maybe that's literally probably something that they tried with this person. I think regardless, it's definitely something they're into. They're very, very kinky, you guys. And I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of it does come from the amount of porn that they watched when they were younger. Ooh, Hecate's Path, Circle of Life, Night Magic, Crossroads, Letting Go. I think you guys, they could have literally like had sex outside. I feel like they're into that sort of stuff. I feel like they were very adventurous. I feel like, oh, what's that word? I forget what the word is, but they were like into, expeditionism. That's what it is. Like, I think that they were almost like into getting caught or something, or the prospect of it. I don't think that they actually wanted to do anything illegal. I think like even with the porn and stuff, it was very taboo, and so they did not want to make it anything like, they didn't want really a lot of people to know. But yeah, that's why this connection was so important to them, because they really did have like a lot of kinks, a lot of things they were into, that maybe they felt embarrassed by, or they felt too taboo about, like, you know, being proud of. And so then they found this person that they were comfortable enough with. But yeah, I think that they really probably were into having sex outside, having, you know, sex in parties, or like hooking up like in, you know, in their friend's house or something, or like with their friends nearby or something. I don't know, like, it's giving me the energy of just like a young person who's just like, yeah, like just sees a lot of stuff on the internet, like a lot of scenario porn, and they're like, oh my gosh, let's play it out, like, let's do it, you know? And then we have Salamander, Ouroboros, Creative Work, Infinite Wisdom, Alchemy. Oh my gosh, Ouroboros. I feel like for some reason this is, I don't think it is that, but it's reminding me of like Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. creative work, infinite wisdom, alchemy. Yeah, there's an energy of like a window. So maybe honestly, they enjoy like watching people. I think that they like, you know, like shower sex too. I think that they like watching their person or people like undress in front of them. Yeah, the sexual messages are coming out now. I feel like, yeah, before they were just like, it was so masked by the sexual relationship that came out. Yeah. But alright, let's get some final message, just what they learned from sex, you know? What did Pile 1's future spouse learn from sex? Their sexual history. What did Pile 1's future spouse learn from sex? Let's see, we have feast, slow down, and celebrate yourself. Yeah, so I feel like in these like fleeting sexual connections they had, like they didn't realize how sacred and beautiful sex could be. I feel like, you know, like honestly, there is something to be said about like, you know, one of those like beautiful orgasms that you have like with someone that you're truly like in love with. I think that they realize like, you know, sex can be beautiful and it can be even more enjoyable when you do have it with someone meaningful. But then also they realize, you know, similarly, sex doesn't have to only be something super meaningful. It can also just be something that you do for fun. But also, you know, I think that they awaken to sort of like the emotional aspect of sex through their connection. Homewards, take yourself out on a date. Yeah, there's some energy of also like, I think that maybe in their like whatever celibacy period they had, like I think that they may have just like masturbated a lot. It's giving me the vibe like in the past that when they were super super young, they watched a ton of porn and then eventually they began instead just hooking up with a bunch of people. So they didn't really have the need to watch a lot of porn. But then, you know, after this relationship ended, they were in that hermit mode, almost celibate type period. And I think that was when they sort of began to like reconnect with that part of themselves and like start watching a lot of porn again, start masturbating again, because, you know, I don't know, it was just like a way for them to almost like heal their inner child that felt a little effed over by this person who left them. But okay, pile number 1, I'm gonna leave it there. So I hope you like this reading. If you did, please do like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, I'll leave it here and see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hey pile 2, if you chose this piece of the Berlin Wall, this will be your reading all about your future spouse's relationship to sex. So, let's get started. First, let me say, alright, a little bit. So I've been like putting my phone on shuffle to get songs, as I, you know, between the readings to sort of cleanse the energy and meditate, oh my god, and meditate on the energy of the group. So, your songs that came were Supercut by Lorde, and, oh my god, what was the other song? It was Supercut by Lorde, and let's see. Picture to Burn by Taylor Swift, you guys. Alright, so it's like already not the happiest energy, gotta be real. Supercut by Lorde is all about, you know, only focusing on the good parts of the relationship and talking about how, you know, like you over romanticize connections and things in your head to yourself when you wistfully look back on them. And Picture to Burn by Taylor Swift is all about burning someone's picture. So, you know, a bad ex's picture. So let's see. Ooh, 5 of Cups that came out. You guys, I'm not so surprised. After those songs, I'm not surprised. King of Pentacles too, you guys. So this is so interesting because pile 1 had King of Pentacles too. And I gotta be real, at first I was so confused by the songs that were coming through because it was giving me a message similar to pile 1's. I feel like there's some sort of like, I don't know, toxic ex, but for you guys, for pile 1, I wasn't quite that confident that was like a toxic ex, but for you guys, I think it, you know, it was. For your future spouse, that is, not for you. I mean, maybe you guys have one as well, but your future spouse, definitely. I mean, like, their relationship to sex, like, it was not having them feeling good, let me tell you. Like, with Supercut and Picture to Burn, I feel like it really did, I mean, ooh, 9 of Cups too, that also came out. for pile number 1. But let's see. Yeah, 5 of Wands, and then I'll get one more card just because pile 1 had 5 as well, so I'll get one more. The Star, interesting. Okay, so let's clarify each of these. So what I'm getting is I feel like this person really romanticized a lot of their connections. I feel like they really, this is another pile that feels like sex and love were deeply intertwined for them. I feel like they really romanticized the people that they found sexual interest in. Specifically the people that they decide to have, sexual relationships with, or just, even if it's physically hook up with these people. Maybe it wasn't them actually having sex, but maybe it was just, them having some sort of intimate physical connection. And I feel like for most of them, it would be something like just hooking up, or something similar to a friends with benefits sort of situation, because I feel like it gave them the potential to feel like there was real emotional fulfillment in this person in this situation, when in reality this person was just sort of trying to get something physical out of it. And it feels like this is like a cycle that this person was stuck in for a while. I feel like they're so in their eyes, because this is their energy that I'm channeling, their sexual past, their sexual history, it really is colored with sort of like the disappointment in their love connections. I feel like mostly they try to find romantic connections through hooking up with people. They used it as a little bit of a segue. And I think that, they use like hooking up with people as a segue for trying to develop a real emotional connection. And so I feel like that's how this person's sexual escapades started out. I feel like at first the only people they were really hooking up with were the people that they actually wanted to have a connection with. But these were people, and so because there was that sort of like intensity from a little bit of a young age, it's giving me the vibe that these people around them that they were hooking up with simply just were not ready, or not even thinking about, that sort of connection. It was like, it's giving me the vibe of someone who's like hooking up with people in high school, but then they're hooking up with these people in high school being like, you're my soulmate and we're gonna fall in love and be together forever. And then this other person's actually just like a horny little teenager just hooking up for people because they want to hook up with people, and they're like, excuse me, man, this is, what is it? Yeah, it's like, excuse me, this is an Arby's or something. What's that? There's some meme, but that's like basically how these other people feel. It feels like this person has hella rose-colored glasses on. We have the 10 of Coins clarifying. So we have the 5 of Cups, and then we have the clarified by the Ace of Cups, and now we have the 10 of Pentacles further clarifying this. Yeah, this person, oh my god, not to like laugh at them, but this person, I'm not even going to put this 10 of Pentacles over both of these cards. I'm only putting it over the Ace of Cups, man, because this person has such rose-colored glasses when it comes to all of these connections. And I'm feeling like, these are people, they've probably hooked up repeatedly with people who more or less have told them, I'm not looking for a relationship. And this person was like, your future spouse was like, okay, but then they kept hooking up with them because they were like, well, I really like them, and like maybe one day they'll, decide that they do want a relationship and that they like me back. But then this person just kept being the same exact person that they always were. The Page, oh my god, no, this is the King of Wands, you guys. You have the King of Wands clarifying the King of Pentacles and Justice. Yeah, so this person is like, they do have like an aggressive energy, if I'm being real to them. They have the energy of a go-getter. They will go out there and get what they want. This is the person who is not afraid to talk up in class. They're not afraid of giving the wrong answer because, they've given the right answer before, and they just, they just simply, it's giving me the vibes of someone with little inhibitions, little anxieties, little insecurities. They're really able to go up to people and be like, do you want to date me? Or like, you want to go on a date with me? They're able to just go up to people, shoot their shot, and not be so downtrodden if it doesn't go their way, They'll just get back out there the next time. So this is someone who's like, yeah, they're not easily swayed from what they want, They do have a lot of confidence. 4 of Cups, clarifying the 9 of Cups and the 3 of Wands, yeah. So this person kept they kept thinking they could go all the distance, reach this 10 of cups from the 9 of cups with these people. But I mean, they're ultimately always disappointed, you know? It feels like it goes nowhere. It feels like they keep barking up the wrong tree. I feel like, I mean, but then we have like the star here at the end. So we have the 7 of cups clarifying. We have the 7 of cups clarifying the 5 of wands and the 3 of cups. So yeah, this is telling me just a lot of wistful thinking, a lot of looking back on old things and old connections and being like, why didn't that go my way? Yeah, I feel like once again, like their sexual past is really them, like right off the bat, they only have ever hooked up with, it feels like, people that they really cared about and people that they really expected more from. And so I feel like sex to them does have sort of a bitter taste in their mouth because, like, I mean, I feel like, you know, up until this point, the star and the 2 of cups, like, this is wonderful news. But I feel like, you know, in this energy, this part of the reading, which I feel like is most of their life, I feel like, yeah, they've been just, like, really disappointed. They've been a very emotionally driven person. The sex very much is something that has been very important to them, or just something that they always pictured doing with someone that they love, you know? I think that they haven't been able to really enjoy the act of sex and, like, the experience of pleasure because they were too just sort of overwhelmed with the fact that this person they're experiencing it with does not feel the same way about them as they want them to feel. There's some aspect of, like, it's weird because this person's very confident, very sure of themselves. They're able to shoot their shot, but then also they do have a lot of, like, abandonment issues, a lot of problems with trusting people, and a lot of trouble with, I don't know, just believing people in their energy. I think that there's a lot of sort of, I think, like, it is sort of the want for validation or the want to be noticed by people who just are not giving them the time of day. It's sort of their need to be liked and wanted by these people that are telling them that they are not. So I think that they do probably have some sort of deep-rooted insecurities that are at the crux of this, but this reading is not about this reading is about their sexual relationships. Then we have the 2 of knives that is clarifying the star and the 2 of cups, which is very interesting because, I mean, this is sort of telling me, you know, I'm actually going to pull another card. I'm going to pull another mundane magic card on it because I don't know if this is telling me that, you know, this is going to be your energy with them or something else. Or, I mean, it's giving me the vibe that I think that they were able to just, it does feel like, you know, something changed. So let's see. Right before it, let's backtrack a little bit. We have the 5 of wands. Very defensive, you know, trying to change. Okay, so you guys, I feel like they were able to eventually, I don't think that they were able to come into a relationship with someone, but I think that they were able to eventually find a sexual connection that they were able to just enjoy the experience of. It's giving me the vibe of they just sort of gave up a little bit on love, or like they gave up. Like, they've been disappointed so many times that they began just sort of hooking up with people just to hook up with people. But it's giving me the vibe that I think that they did, you know, they found a fuck buddy. They found someone that they could have sex with in a way where it really, it helped them connect with their body. It helped them connect with, you know, the experience of sex. Because, like, the star card is telling me something, you know, dreamlike to look forward to in the distance, you know, like a guiding star, northern light or whatever. And then the 2 of cups, but, you know, it is a dreamlike energy, so I was like, okay, I don't know how grounded that'll be, but then it's clarified by the 2 of cups, so it's telling me that, you know, I feel like they did find fulfilling union with sex, because this is about, you know, their sexual past. So I feel like that they were able to, you know, they were able to reconnect with this part of themselves before they come into union with you. I do feel like, you know, the 2 of swords is now clarified by the 8 of wands. Okay, so honestly, for some of you guys, it could be that maybe you're sort of helping them reconnect with it. But honestly, I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're just sort of icing on the cake. I feel like this person is they're going to have to learn how to have, you know, sex, and not like as a threat or anything. This person is just going to so happen to learn how to have sex and enjoy it before they meet you. And so there is an energy of like, oh, like, you know, the sex sort of, it started out at this energy to them. It started out as something that they sort of, a cup that they looked as having more than just the potential of sex. You know, they saw sexual connections in their life as something that to ultimately lead to romantic love. And so they kept being disappointed by the people that they have sex and sexual connections with, because these people keep not wanting to settle down or have anything committed, but this person kept trying to almost like change their mind, or this person just kept being drawn to them because they I don't know, they just didn't want to admit that this person wouldn't change their mind. They were just so adamant on changing this person's mind and feeling worthy of, you know, the relationship, because they were like, okay, if I'm worthy of the sex, I need to also be worthy of the relationship. And I feel like this person sort of, the hollowness of their sexual connections led to them feeling unworthy of true love. And then eventually they were able to sort of, you know, put a pin in that, put that aside. Maybe they did therapy, maybe they, you know, they had a lot of just self-healing, I feel like, to be able to detach themselves from the expectation of a romantic connection stemming from their sexual connections. And that enabled them to actually enjoy sex and sexual connections. It enabled them to actually like go out and, you know, meet people and hook up without the expectation of anything else happening from that. You know, this is giving me the vibe of this person very much is like, you know, before they would hook up and then they'd say, oh my gosh, like, I just need to see this person again. And they just like blow up a story in their mind of how this person is going to, you know, they're going to just keep hooking up with each other, and they're just going to keep, you know, just falling deeper and deeper in love with each other until they'll be together forever. And then, you know, this hookup probably only ever stays a hookup for this person, and this person just feels so like beaten up by that fact. And so I think that they definitely did, you know, this Five of Wands specifically is telling me they had to sort of, there came a point where it was almost like, I can't put up with this anymore. They felt like they couldn't even go out and meet people and have sex or anything without just automatically feeling unworthy of a romantic connection, because it never came from that. And, you know, they did have to sort of detach from sex and immerse themselves in, you know, their social life and just little mundane joy things in this 3D life. You know, they had to just reconnect with nature, reconnect with their spirituality, with their self, with their loved ones. And, you know, eventually they were able to enjoy sex and sexual connections, and they were able to go out and meet a cute person and just enjoy the attention that they give them and enjoy the experience without feeling like it has to lead to something more for them to be like worthy of something more. And then, so yeah, it's giving me the vibe of, and then once that happens, you know, it's either, I think for most of you, that's going to happen for your future spouse, and then very soon after that, you guys are going to meet each other, and they're going to be like, oh my god, finally it's you, you're finally here. Finally, I've been waiting, I've been having sex with all these people, all these non-committal people, and finally, right when I'm starting to be okay with having sex with non-committal people, that's when like my divine counterpart comes in, and we're just like attached at the hip forever. So it does feel like, with the Two of Swords specifically, it's giving me the vibes of like, things are hidden, things are unknown, things are supposed to be unknown. And then Eight of Wands is telling me quickly, though. It's telling me things are unknown, but then things are also going to be unveiled very quickly. And what's unknown, you probably don't even know that it's unknown, but you will learn soon. But okay, let's get some more cards about your future spouse's relationship to sex. Let's get some more 18 plus messages now. Yeah, let's get some more 18 plus messages about, okay, so here, these are first just, those ones were really a lot from pile ones, so let's channel, or let's smack these cards with the energy of your pile instead. So pile 2's future spouse, what pile 2's future spouse's relationship to sex before they come into union with pile 2. So pile 2's future spouse's relationship to sex. We have Running out of semen. Okay, so that's very interesting. I feel like this person is like, yeah. So they wouldn't just like have sex with people randomly. It's literally just whoever that they have a crush on. They would like go crazy, go all in with them. And it's giving me the vibe of they're like, oh, whatever you want to do, I'm down with, you know? It's giving me a lot of selfless energy, but you know, less so selfless in a good, wholesome way, and more so selfless in the way where it's like they're just simply not really counting for their own needs or own wants, and they're just sort of willing to sacrifice anything for this person to, you know, hook up with them. Because yeah, these people that they hook up with usually in the past, they're people that they have a crush on, and so they're wanting more out of this relationship, and so, you know, they're like, oh, whatever you want to do, I'm good with, you know, if whatever you want to have, do, yeah, whatever type of sex you want to have, like, I'm good with. Oh, you want me to go down on you? Oh, you don't care if I don't orgasm? That's okay, who cares, not me, you know, but then they're just actually, like, just concealing their needs and their wants, and so it always just continuously leads to them being unfulfilled. My vagina. Okay, so maybe they do. Maybe for some of you this is a girl, which is interesting because honestly, yeah, it's giving me that vibe. Even though they have a lot of aggressive energy, for some reason I was really like, I feel like for a lot of you this could be a girl, but again, take what resonates. Like, if you don't feel like you're into girls, then that message was not for you. Maybe that's actually, if you're a girl, maybe it's about you. Or even if you just have a vagina, maybe it's about you. Or maybe this person isn't even a girl, but they do have a vagina. But I think that there probably is a vagina involved in this connection. And it's giving me the vibe of, yeah, like, even if your person is, like, a man, like, even if it was a man in a cis-het relationship with other women in the past, I feel like this guy was very much like, you know, he'd, you know, I feel like typically it's, you hear about the man who comes and doesn't care about the girl coming, but I feel like it's gonna be the opposite for you guys. I feel like it's gonna be the guy who's like, no, like, he's going to be so intent. Whoever it is, your future spouse is going to be so intent on the other person, on pleasing the other person. But I gotta be real, most of it does come from a little bit of like a, oh, think I'm worthy, like, fall in love with me sort of mindset. Then we have a gentle caress of the inner thigh. Yeah, I mean, but above all, you guys, they're a lover. Like, they're a romantic lover, you know? They're not really having sex with people that they don't care about emotionally until very shortly before you guys come into union. And that's a short-lived energy for you guys, honestly, because this person's still, like, they're just a deep person, you know? They just care about the people in their lives. I feel like they don't have a lot of just fleeting little, or like, they don't have a lot of, like, shallow friendships or shallow connections. Even if they have a lot of acquaintances, like, these are acquaintances that they have at their job or their hobbies. These aren't people that they invest a lot of time and effort to spend time specifically with. The people that they do spend a lot of time and effort specifically on, you know, are the people that they really trust and they really care about, and they're not a lot of those people. This person is a lover, so it's hard for them, even when they're able to detach healthily, it's hard for them to not become emotionally invested in these people, because they are, you know, yeah, they just, if they have sex with you, they connect with your body, and then, you know, they feel very attached to the idea of affection, and you know, especially affectionate romantic love. So I feel like, you know, being close to the people's body, it just makes them want to, like, cuddle. It makes them want to, you know, yeah, like, hold hands, do PDA. I feel like they'd totally be the person to have a friends with benefits, but, like, you know, like, still, like, do PDA with their friends with benefit, or like try to hold their hand in public or something. Then we have the clitoris. Yeah, so for a lot of you guys, I mean, my vagina, the clitoris, you guys, there's a theme here. Yeah, very, I mean, yeah, I feel like even if this is, I feel like for those of you who's like, if your future spouse has a vagina, I feel like you probably also, or you'll just, like, identify as a girl, I feel like. And so I feel like your person just has, like, yeah, they've been very, like, woman-centered, their vision, you know, they're very they're very focused on, I feel like, you know, the feminine's pleasure, because I feel like they do have a more masculine energy. Third base, yeah, this is the person who would like actually pay attention to things like, you know, oh, when should we hook up? Oh, is it okay to like hook up on the first date or something? But like they'll pay attention to that because they'll also try to they'll try to get like, yeah, details about their what the state of their connection by like analyzing how far like sexually they've gone with a person, you know. I feel like even when you guys meet and you guys hook up, I feel like they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like we had sex, like what does that mean, like are we serious now? Or they'll be like, oh my gosh, like we just kissed, you know, like what does this mean? I feel like they, yeah, very much like intimacy, affection, sex, these things are all just, and like romance, these are all like sort of almost like the same entity in their mind, if I'm being real. Like, yeah, they care about it a lot. And it's just sort of naturally who they are. They're a very affectionate, emotional person. And so that's not something that they're able to grow out of, but they are able to grow out of sort of that almost like desperate need for their sexual connections to be romantic connections also. Let's get some more energy of Pile 2's future spouses, you know, sexual history. Their sexual history. Yeah, I feel like really it's a lot of energy of just like whatever the other person wants, that's what they're down for. I feel like they haven't even had much time to really experiment with what they want, which is why I feel like this sort of detached energy of them being able to just hook up and have fun from those hookups was so important for them, because I feel like they were sort of detached from the pleasure side of sex. They were very sort of focused on the other person and thinking about the other person's feelings and emotions during sex. They weren't very much thinking about their own feelings in the connection. Closing circle, pure intent, sacred doors, timing, experience. Yeah, this person does not have a lot of experience, honestly, when it comes to, honestly, I feel like maybe even orgasming themselves. Like, I feel like this person, maybe they haven't came that many times, like, in connections with other people. I feel like that they've probably made the other people come quite often, almost like every time, I feel like. Basically every time they've tried to, but I feel like, yeah, they may be, because I feel like that they very much make themselves the non-focus of sex. They make the other person the focus of sex. Timing. I think that this person, though, tries to, I think that for some of you, they may be really into edging. You know what that is, where it's like they try to make their partner climax, but then they just sort of like, you know, they step off, they put on the brakes, and then they just, to try and like, you know, lengthen the process and make it a little more exciting, a little more steamy. I feel like your person could really be into that. I think that, but also they're just into like coming together as well. And so I think that's sort of probably whatever times that they did where they were, honestly, no, with the energy that this is giving me, I feel like honestly most of their experience in the past was like one-sided sexual experience, where it was like mostly them, you know, providing a sexual pleasure or experience towards the other person. And I feel like with you guys, with your connection, I think that what's going to be really important is like sort of the mutual sexual connection. And I think that you guys are going to like, you know, they're going to really find it important to like come together and stuff like that. That's going to be like very, very important to them. They could have long hair, or they could also just really like other people's long hair. Or I think that they could just, yeah, like the soft, gentle, like stroking of people's hair, or like the other person like stroking their hands or their arms. Like, it's very erotic to them, because again, like these just small little gestures, these small little like pleasures or soothing gestures, that's what like really is like affectionate and intimate to them, and that sort of like romantic affection and intimacy turns them on a lot. We also have songbirds, hexbreaker, sound healing, final goodbye, release. Honestly, I feel like you guys will have a very like sexually healing connection, because again, there's like this energy of even when this person is able to have healthy sex where they enjoy it and aren't like too emotionally attached to the person, I still feel like they're wanting that emotional connection, and that's what your relationship is going to be for them, you know? I feel like in the past they were looking for this emotional connection that they find in you, but you know, they also were, because they were left out in the cold looking for an emotional connection, they weren't able to enjoy the sex. And then finally, when they were able to enjoy the sex, they were left without that emotional connection. So you're going to be like the best of both worlds for them. You're going to be able to like, you know, close the circle, be exactly everything that they want. Hex breaker, yeah, it's gonna feel like you're almost like the bad luck breaker, or like the good luck charm for this person, or you, like your presence will like end their stroke of bad luck when it comes to their sexual experiences. Let's get one more card. There's two, but that's okay, we'll take it. We have Raising Winds, Magical Release, Calling, Intention, Stronghold. You guys, this is the second time we have the word release, but this one's magical release. This one was just release, and this one's magical release. I think that you guys will have probably like a Kundalini awakening with each other. I think that this person, though, like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like in their sex, you guys could have like a very deep psychic bond with this person already, even if you don't know them. And so I feel like sort of they're psychically connected to the idea of how emotionally fulfilling and beautiful the sex with you will be. And so I feel like they are unknowingly looking for that connection in all of these past experiences. They're looking for this sort of beautiful magical release that their body like intuitively knows they'll experience with you one day. And so right now they're looking for that in other people, and they're not able to sort of achieve it. And so they're sort of having to learn how to look for another type of release. They're going to learn how to sort of validate the fact that they feel like they'll have a beautiful emotional sexual connection with someone one day, but also validate the fact that maybe right here, right now, this person is not going to be it. And then we also have, herbal craft, regeneration, plant medicine, caretaker, bloomer. Yeah, so caretaker, I'm getting the vibe of, yeah, this sexual connection, like the energy of this person. I feel like they're not a virgin, but they have the energy of a virgin. Just to say they have that energy of someone who is maybe a little shy, a little timid when it comes to sex, just because they have been sort of scorned in the past. And I think that it's mostly an energy of just their timidness comes from their sexual experiences just simply not fulfilling them, leaving them disappointed. I think they can confidently say, in the past they have not had a sexual experience that they wholeheartedly enjoyed and did not regret upon, thinking about it. I think that there was a lot of regret like in the moment or soon afterwards, because there was a lot of moments where they'd wistfully look back on these connections and wish that it worked out, and beat themselves up for it not working out. But I think that ultimately, once they sort of take the energy and time to detach from that and heal themselves and heal this connection and this need for a romantic connection, I think that they learned that, these people showed them exactly who they actually were, and that it was for the best that these connections didn't work out, because these people probably would have broken their heart even worse, even more intensely. And so I think that right now, they're very much aware of that fact once they come into union with you. And so I think that they are going to be a little shy and timid when it comes to sex, because I feel like, they feel like all of their sexual experience was not that great of sexual experience, because it was so overly focused on the other person. Their mind was elsewhere during it. They were just constantly thinking, oh, like, is this it? Like, are we going to fall in love now? Like, will this act of sex make them fall in love with me? They were so preoccupied with those thoughts that they feel like there was almost very few instances where they were, like, conscious during sex and, like, consciously thinking about what they were doing and how they were doing it. And, so they feel very sexually inexperienced, even though I feel like they're not so sexually inexperienced. But they're just sexually inexperienced in the type of sex that they want to have had by now. They want to have had that emotionally fulfilling, beautiful, intimate sexual connection, sexual experience, but they haven't had that yet. So it's leaving them a little insecure. But alright, let's get some final messages about words of advice for pile number 2's future spouse when it comes to their sexual experiences. So we have one card that came out and another. So we have Tower, unplug and relax for a spell. Yeah, they sort of did have to go through a tower moment over here. And it was, this tower card, it's not a very intense tower card at all, This person's just here alone doing some yoga. So I feel like it wasn't so intense of a tower moment for this person, but it was more so just like, yeah, like a feeling of rock bottom, a feeling of them being like, I cannot stand just simply going to Starbucks, seeing a hot barista, and making up a fantasy in my mind about our life together. Like, they're like, I need to be more realistic. I need to take off these rose-colored glasses. I need to just simply let people be fleeting moments in my life. And so they did have to sort of go through that rude awakening of realizing they don't have on, not only do they have on rose-colored glasses, but they have on like rose-colored sunglasses where like just completely warped, like rose-colored kaleidoscope glasses where they just simply are not even seeing any amount of version of reality. They're just like blowing up everything in their mind. Flower, be honest with yourself. That's basically what I was saying. Yeah, the rude awakening, they have to be honest with themselves. They have to realize that sex can be something beautiful and fun, and it doesn't have to be an emotional connection, and it's okay if they feel like they need an emotional connection to also have sex with someone, but they also have to validate the fact that these other people that they're having sex with are very upfront and very obvious about the fact that they're not looking for a committed relationship, This is someone that they meet on Tinder who says that they're looking for a short-term relationship or looking for something very open, This is someone who seeks out they almost did seek out unavailable people almost intentionally. And I think they also had to be honest with themselves about that. The type of people that they tried to go towards were very much people that they wanted to prove to themselves that they were worthy of, and so that they felt like they had to change their minds. And yeah, they had to go through a little bit of a journey to learn that. But again, they do eventually learn this, and you are like very quick after, you come into their life very quick after they learn this lesson, and you are just going to be like a beacon of hope for them, a light at the end of the tunnel. But okay, pile number 2, I'm going to leave it there for you guys. I know I just moved the cards up at the end, sorry. But I'm going to leave it there for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that message. I hope it resonated. Definitely like, comment, subscribe if it resonated, because I would love to keep your energy around. I would love to see you guys around again. I'd love to connect with you guys again. And I'd love for our psychic connection to get stronger. But alright guys, I'm going to leave it here and move on to the next pile. Bye! Okay, pile number 3, if you chose this little rock thing, this will be your reading all about your future spouse's relationship to sex, or their, sexual experiences up until coming into union with you guys. So before this reading, in between the readings, I've been putting on music intuitively, shuffled intuitively to help cleanse the space and sort of permeate the air with your energy. The songs that came out for you guys were pretty wistful, let's see. Yeah, so first you had Golden Brown by Cage the Elephant, which honestly, that's a song that I don't really understand much. I honestly don't really like it, but it's on my phone because my sister really likes it. And then the next song they came on was Take a Chance on Me by Mamma Mia, or from the Mamma Mia soundtrack by ABBA. So I'm feeling like maybe this, pile 1 and pile 2, they had very specific, almost like stories about their future spouse's, sexual past. But who knows, maybe yours will be the first pile where it's actually just, random flippin' messages, not like a story. But let's see. So I have the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Knight of Swords, which very aggressively flipped out, which is very apt for the Knight of Swords, because the Knight of Swords is a pretty aggressive card. And then we have the Two of Cups. Very interesting. Let's see. And let's get one more card. But 2 cards came out, and so I feel like we should take them both. So we have the Fool, and then we have, ooh, the Four of Wands. So honestly, I'm feeling a pretty good energy so far, right? I'm not like looking too much into the cards at all. I'm just right now feeling the energy. I'm not gonna like read too much into the cards until I have more of them laid down. But I feel a pretty good energy. We have the Ace of Pentacles starting out first. So I feel like this person, honestly, they could have had sex at a very young age. I feel like it was something sort of, yeah, it's giving me the vibe of like an offer. So I feel like, maybe this person maybe the story of how they lost their virginity, I feel like it really could have been very random for them. I feel like it could have been like, they met someone while they were out, like maybe they were young and they were hanging out with mutual friends, and their their friend introduced them to someone, and they just ended up like hooking up with that person. Ace of Pentacles and then Five of Cups. Yeah, so I think that it was like, I think they were introduced to someone very young, and I think it could have a little bit set the stage. So then we have Page of Wands being clarified, by the Two of Swords. So this row of cards is beginning to be a little more intense, which is interesting. Some underlying energies. So let's see. Okay, so I think, so that initial sort of random, spontaneous, sexual connection, like I feel like, it's something like either they lost their virginity very suddenly, very randomly, or it's like maybe it was just like a hookup, maybe it was like oral sex or something, like their first their first time doing something sexual, and it was very random. If it came out of nowhere, because this is literally like, the Ace of Pentacles is literally a hand coming out of the clouds to offer them this. And, Ace is one, and it's telling me, it's giving me very much energy. This could have been like their first time having sex or something, but honestly, I'm feeling like this isn't so much their emotions. It left them emotionally, disappointed. I feel like it's mostly just simply nothing really came from this sexual encounter. I feel like this is someone they just sort of met randomly one time, and that was it. And I think that, that almost like opened the floodgates a little bit for them. This Page of Wands, it's so interesting because usually the Page of Wands tells me about, like relationships. But, this is a sex-based reading, and then Page of Wands clarified by the Two of Swords. I feel like this person was sort of, like this, they felt open to this experience, this random experience, that was definitely sort of like a YOLO sort of thing, you only live once. I feel like it did a little bit open the floodgates for other sexual experiences, like very soon after that. I feel like it gave this person sort of like the confidence to be able to, just have sex with people or like hook up with people. I feel like it was, almost like the seal was broken or something like that. It just feels like up until this point, this person just sort of hasn't like cared to go all the way, that distance, with someone. I feel like up until that point, it's like, they've flirted with people. I don't think that they went on any dates or anything. It's giving me the vibe still that they're young, like I feel like teenager at this point though, So it is something like, before then they just hadn't had much like experience like with the gender they're interested in, they haven't had much experience dating or like flirting with them or something, or it's like, they only ever talked to them, or they only ever thought they were flirting. They never went on a date. They never like kissed or anything even. This is gonna be the vibe, like this person like skipped the kissing stage, like maybe this person never had their first kiss, but the first time they had their first kiss was also the first time they like, gave someone a blowjob or something, or received a blowjob or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I think that this person, so let's get some more clarifying cards. Because the Page of Wands is such relationship energy to me. I'm curious to see if they did enter a relationship, but it's giving me the vibe that they didn't. Yeah, it's like they had like an experience that helped them help them their burgeoning sexual confidence, It helped them, be confident. Seven of Pentacles, though, clarifying this. So, I think that this is something, Honestly, you guys, for some of you, maybe this is someone that they actually like had a little bit of a connection with. You know, let's get some more cards. So we have the Ten of Cups clarifying the Page of Wands and the Ten of Swords, or the Two of Swords, not the Ten of Swords. Well, let me meditate on this energy a little bit. So we have the Ten of Cups. Interesting. Okay. And then we have the Nine of Cups following it right afterwards. Okay. And then we have the then we have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, you guys. Let's clarify this one. Nine of Swords. 10, 9, 10, 9. You guys, 10 and 9 could be a synchronicity for you guys. 10:09. Maybe you're seeing 10:09 on the clock a lot. And it could just tell you, I mean, I honestly, I'm feeling that that means your future spouse is near because, or they're thinking about you, or they're going through something in their life. I feel like seeing 10:09 on the clock, it means like you guys are like very closely connecting to each other and soon coming into union. And then we have the Emergent of Lighters, which is, that's the King of Wands, I believe. Let's see. No, it's the Page of Wands. So this is the Page of Wands. Okay. Oh my god, so we have the Page of Wands twice, you guys. So, okay, so for some of you guys, this was like their first sexual connection. I think for a lot of you, they were just like, it was the seal that broke something. But also for a lot of you, I think that this could have been something that someone that actually they were hung up on after the fact. Or I think that it's just someone that they like, that was kept around in their energetic field or something. It was like they broke the seal with this person. And I feel like for some of you, this person could have broken away, or your future spouse could have broken away from them and like, you know, met other people, and, you know, this broke the seal, it opened the floodgates for them to have a bunch of other sexual connections. But I feel like they were still energetically like connected to this person. There's some aspect of like walking away, but also like not being able to quite see something. And then it's clarifying the Ten of Cups further, but which is, you know, a very emotionally fulfilling card. And so it's giving me the vibe that something's like something's connecting them to this person, or I don't know, it's weird. It's giving me the vibes of like, okay, this is like such a random weird message to come out, but I don't know if any of you guys have seen 50 Shades of Grey, but the person in it, Christian Grey, his like sort of the person that I think like the first person he had sex with was sort of like a dominatrix, and it was like, it was just someone who like, even during like this series, he was in a connection, or he's in a relationship with this girl named Anastasia at the time, but he still like sort of keeps in touch with this old dominatrix that like sort of opened his eyes to like the world of sex. And gets honestly this similar vibe that this person is giving me. It's giving me the vibes of like someone, yeah, like they sort of had a very random spontaneous sexual connection with someone that was like sort of their first glimpse of anything remotely sexual. It was almost like a sexual awakening for them, just because it was like the first time anything like that happened, and it was sort of so out of the blue. And then it caused them to be, you know, it caused them to be energetically attached to this person, but physically detached. And I think that that's what they're not seeing, because that's what I wasn't even seeing at first. I think that for a lot of you guys, this future spouse did actually like physically remove themselves from this person, or just simply like, you know, this was a one-off hookup, and so, you know, these people just simply never really kept in touch. But maybe, you know, maybe they exchanged numbers or something. They never hooked up again, but maybe they exchanged numbers, and this person just sort of, maybe they text them every now and then. Maybe they ask if they're in the area, ask when, you know, if they can see each other anytime soon. But, you know, it's giving me the vibe that this person, it's so weird. It's giving me the energy that this person, you know, they like this connection, this first sexual spark sort of activated something in them that they like go out and just keep trying to seek in other people. And it's not really I don't know, it's I don't think it's very conscious, honestly, but I think it's just sort of like, maybe it is something like the sex. Maybe it was just sort of a random stroke of luck, where the sex that they had with this person at first, or like the first time they ever hooked up with someone, or the first time they ever got a blowjob or anything, or someone went down on them, it was like the best experience ever, or was like yeah, one of the most fulfilling sexual experiences for them. And then like all of these other sexual experiences after that, like they've just been almost like chasing this same high. So it's very interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting at all. Like, indeed, Knight of Swords, they're going out there, they're aggressively, I feel like this person made them pretty horny, but it made them pretty selectively horny, I feel like before this like random spontaneous hookup with this person, I feel like they were a very selective person. I feel like even after this hookup, they're still a very selective person, but now they know that they also want to be very selective about having sex with people, because it can be really fun and be a really great experience. And yeah, I think that they are a very deeply sexual person, but I think that they just simply weren't really connected to that side of themselves, or they didn't feel maybe they felt personally connected to that side of themselves, but they felt a little insecure in that side of themselves when it comes to hooking up with other people. Maybe they only felt comfortable in their sexuality when they were like fantasizing about people or masturbating. Maybe when it comes to actually hooking up with people, that really scared them. But then they broke the seal, they had sex with this person, it was incredible, and after that they've just been sort of aggressively trying to hook up with people that they think they could reignite this same energy with. So this Knight of Swords is aggressively going out there, fiercely looking for someone they can have the Sun with, someone that they can have this Ten of Cups with, but it's only ever the Nine of Cups. It's only ever sort of them in their own self-sufficient energy, trying to make something happen on their one side. For a lot of you, I mean, not for a lot of you, but for a select few of you guys, I think that maybe you guys could be this person that they had this like sort of first beautiful sexual connection with, and they're coming back around to you. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's just sort of like they had some sort of sexual chemistry with this person that it's hard for them to come by. But then yeah, so the Two of Cups clarified by the Four of Swords, yeah, just sort of more of the same energy where yeah, I don't think that they really realize how emotionally connected they are to this person. And I think it's not really outright emotional connection, but it's that they're emotionally connected to the like sex that they had with this person. They're emotionally connected to how great the sex was, I guess. Or they're just it's something that they're looking for that sort of they haven't really been able to find since then. Yeah, it's definitely given me the energy that whatever they're looking for, they haven't been able to find it since getting it with that person. And it does just feel some sort of intense sexual chemistry, and it does really give me like the Christian Grey vibes, where it just feels like this person has just like really high standards. They're very picky, they're very selective with their energy. They're not just gonna have sex or hook up with any random person. And so, that's why when they met this person, it was a big deal, because this person like was actually on their level. And since then, they haven't met many people who were also on their level. And the ones that they have, they realized once they hooked up with them that they're not on their level sexually. And so they've been quite disappointed, honestly. But then we have the Fool clarified by the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I think that they still... They go out, they try, they hook up randomly with people, they do. They try to have a good time with people. I feel like they could... I don't know, it's a nice balance, This isn't someone who needs to go out and constantly is like sort of looking to hook up with people. This isn't someone who's needing to constantly be dating someone to feel okay. This is just someone who's like, they know that they get horny maybe like, once or twice a month, and so like once or twice in a month they'll go out with their friends to a club or a bar, and they'll try to meet someone, they'll try to hook up, or they'll just like meet someone on Tinder or online or something, or they'll have a friends with benefits or something. It's an energy of they recognize that like since breaking this seal that they have like a very innate sexual desire inside of them, and they will go out and validate that. But they're also not going to read that much into it. They're not going to try to, they're not going to be that eager to go from the Fool to the Ten of Wands, because they've done that before. I feel like that's sort of what this connection felt like. It felt like that they quickly hooked up with this person, and it caused a lot of passion and intensity, but then also that passion and intensity quickly burnt out, and it became almost like a burden for them to carry, because they were left sort of seeking out that passion and intensity with every sexual connection since. And I mean, Nine of Swords, I don't think that they were really able to, they were not able to feel that way. And I think that they also sort of did have to do a little bit of realizing that, similar to Christian Grey, I think they had some sort of just like, emotional, just an emotional connection to this person because they were there first in some way. And they were not only there first, but they were like the best, so not like just factually on a timeline were they important, this connection, but it's like just they also like they had a great experience with them. They had a good time with them, and a time that they weren't able to have with other people in the future. And so, we have the Four of Wands and then the Tower, and also the Emergent of Lighters, which is the Page of Wands again. So it's telling me, so right here, the Page of Wands, I mentioned that it gives me a relationship energy. It's the card that comes out for me personally in regards to seeking out a relationship and coming upon that relationship and stumbling into it. But the Page of Wands coming or reiterating itself here is telling me, I think that this is sort of more of the sexual chemistry that they will be able to find with you. Yeah, once again, which is sweet. In a lot of these readings, it seems like the last tarot cards to come out are a little bit about like the future connection that they'll have with you, the viewer, in the future. So it is, it's giving me the energy that they don't really realize that, I think that once they sort of are able to emotionally let go of this person, or once they're able to realize that they're sort of seeking out the energy that they had in this connection with all of these other people that they meet, once they realize that, I think that's going to sort of unburden them from this connection, and it's going to enable them to sort of have the emotional freedom and the lack of emotional baggage to meet you and go in a committed relationship with you. There's a vibe of they don't really understand their emotional attachment to sex, or the emotional side that they feel consciously towards sex, or even subconsciously. And so they did have to raise it to the conscious level. They did have to become aware of it. And once they were aware of it, that sort of opened them up. It gave them the space to release this person, release their emotional attachment to this person, so they can have the space and the freedom to emotionally attach to you when you guys come into union. And I think that, this Page of Wands is telling me that I think that you guys will, naturally have this sort of intense sexual chemistry that they had with this person as well. But you'll also, you'll have a healthy emotional connection. And it's giving me the vibe that this person, I feel like they probably haven't been in many romantic connections, honestly. I feel like this person has not been in many, and I feel like for most of you, in any romantic connections. I feel like they haven't been in any long-term connections. They may have dated a lot of people, hooked up with people. I don't think they've been in many committed, long-term, stable, exclusive connections, or even open connections. I feel like they've just in general been in connections without any structure or any labels, because they've sort of, they're giving me an energy of it. The just sort of sex and love are very distinct to them. And I don't think that love is really anything that's been too much on their mind. Or I think that honestly, when it comes to sex and love, I think sex is on their mind, not so much love. They're giving me very fiery energy. I think that they, not to say they're a soulless person who doesn't care about love, but I just feel like in the past, it's sort of sex and love are very much conflated. Well, sex and love are different things to them. Feelings of sex and feelings of love are very different to them. But, the action of pursuing a person, I feel like they would never pursue someone just romantically. They'd only ever pursue someone sexually, and then open the door for that to be a romantic connection possibly down the line. But there's a vibe of just simply these people they meet, they know that they don't have any sort of romantic interest in them. And maybe that'll be a little bit of a red flag to you at first. You're like, how have you not had anyone that you really even have that much of a crush on? Because that's the vibe this person's giving me. I feel like they haven't even had many crushes on anyone. I feel like they had a crush on this person that they had incredible sex with, but that was it. and they left this person very quickly. It was like they had a crush on this person, but neither of them nor this person ever did anything about it. And so this person was, for most of you guys, just like sort of a one-time hookup. Or maybe, a few-time hookup, but still no relationship ever came from it. And I feel like it's because this person just sort of, yeah, honestly, I'm getting like sex was sooner on their mind rather than love for most of you guys. Yeah, like maybe there was a vibe of they just simply, they didn't care to really deal with the love side of things. Or they didn't see anyone that was like a viable love romantic partner for them. So they were like, why even think about love when I have no one in front of me that I would want to have in that way. But alright, let's get some final messages about pile number 3's future spouse's relationship to sex, or their sexual history or sexual past. So we have astral travels, possible impossibility, freedom, traveler, inner dreams. Oh my god, you guys. I think that you guys, this person definitely like dreams of sex. I feel like they have probably a lot of, oh my god, what's it called? I forgot what it's called, like wet dreams or something. Yeah, I think it's wet dreams. This person has a lot of wet dreams, you guys. We have mugwort dreams, you guys, also mugwort dreams. 2 cards about dreams. This person dreams about having sex. They could have dreamed about having sex with you guys too. I think this person, honestly, I think they may dream a little bit about this person that they had sex with, like, this very first time also. I think that they could be a very deeply spiritual person, and their spirituality is also deeply tied to sex. And I feel like for this person, I think that, it's giving me the energy that, yeah, like, the dreams that they have of this person that they, like, lost their virginity to or had this, like, first time hookup with, I think that, like, the dreams that they have later of this person sort of, like, signal to them that they're not over this person's energy. I think that their dreams are very psychic in a way. So I think their dreams connect them to you sexually. They also connect them to this other person because their dreams are a way for their, like, spirit guide, spirit team to inform them of their, like, emotional connection and this fact that they're still tied to this person. That's incredible that we got, like, 2 dream cards, though, because astral travels, yeah, I think that you guys... Was this the... No, for pile 2, I was getting Kundalini awakening when they have sex with their future spouse, and I'm getting that also for you guys, because with astral travels, I get that the sex with you guys is going to be incredible. Because, yeah, I think that it's like, so not to, like, put a damper on anything, but I feel like this person, the sex was so incredible with this person initially. I think they could have had a Kundalini awakening, but your person just still had a little bit of, like, healing and a little bit of lessons to learn to sort of be the spiritually aware person to be able to have a Kundalini awakening. And so I feel like the sex with you will actually give them a Kundalini awakening because, like, they would have matured since then. They would have grown, learned more about themselves. Any other cards about pile number 3's future spouse's relationship to sex? Levitation, higher ground, belief, mastery, meditation. This person is going to, like, yeah, they're going to be a master at sex. They're going to be very, very good at it. Levitation, that's just gonna be that vibe of literally, like, someone coming so hard and so purely and so beautifully that they, like, levitate out of the bed. That they're just, like, yeah, that they just, like, transcend to heaven right then. Yeah, that's gonna be the vibe. I think this person, they've been able to master sex, and honestly, it's gonna be the vibe. This person has a very innate sexual energy to them. Like, they're naturally a very sexual person, and a person that's very good at sex. They're good at reading other people's bodies. They're good at knowing their own body, knowing how to work it, knowing what feels good. They know how to make themselves look good, and they know how to make other people feel good. And so I think, like, yeah, this person, that's another reason, not to be a broken record, that's another reason why this initial first hookup of theirs was so important, because this was a person that had a same sort of innate sexual energy as them. And so this person was really able to awaken the sexual energy in your future spouse. And so your future spouse, up until that point, they were relatively naive when it comes to sex and relationships. But then this sort of, just opened the floodgates for them to really get in touch with that side of themselves. And so, they're like, by the time they meet you, by the time you guys come into union, sexual master, let me tell you. You guys are going to be so beyond satisfied. I realize now that I also forgot the, really 18 plus messages. So, sorry you guys. I was caught up. I was wrong. You guys do have a story to you guys. But again, I feel like the story that your future spouse had with this person that they had this Ace of Pentacles initial hookup experience with, it was very short-lived in the physical sense, but emotionally, it really stuck with this person. That experience stuck with this person. Consensual sex, yeah, well, that's always a great thing. I think this person waits they're very stingy with who they have sex with, which is so interesting because, like Christian Grey, they love sex, Christian Grey he was not celibate for any genuine, reasons of, wanting to be celibate. He was just stingy with who he'd give his energy to. He wouldn't trust many people. A man on the brink of orgasm, that came out for another pile, yeah. So I think that this person, again, they have very good self-control when it comes to who they want to have sex with, but then once they decide who they want to have sex with, it's gone. All things go. This person has just such, there's not going to be a lot of talking, they're just going to simply, know what to do. I think that they're going to very much, they take charge, definitely. They have a very take charge energy to them. Fingering, oh my god, you guys, I said wet dreams, and look what card came out. Wet freaking dreams. This person has so many wet dreams, you guys. I think that you guys specifically will have so many dreams of each other once you guys meet, but also before you guys even come into union. I think that your future spouse could have dreams of you, or you know what I think, actually? I think that they're going to have a dream of having the same type of incredible sex of the same incredible caliber as this initial time. They're going to have a dream about it, and then it's going to be a day or two later, they meet you, and you guys have that incredible sex. Oh, congrats. Pulling out, yeah, so they have a lot of self-control, they have a lot of self-restraint. They could really be into edging, which is, where they just sort of tease you, try to make you come, but then just sort of pull back at the last second to really draw it out. I think that they're really into that because, once again, there's just a lot. They like to be in control. They like to be composed. They like to sort of, it's giving me the vibe of puppet master, they enjoy the sensual experience of it, Sex is a divine pleasure to them, which is why it's so important for them to really find the right person that they have that chemistry with to enjoy that divine pleasure with. And so I think that they're going to be very, very sensual and getting slow kisses, slow caresses. They go down on you, finger you if that's able to happen. I think that there's just a lot of touching though. So a lot of physical touching. So even if no one in this relationship is able to be fingered, I think that regardless, a lot of touching will occur. A lot of caressing on the fingertips. Also, for some reason, I'm getting some feet. Maybe they're into feet things. But yeah, just a lot of worship, a lot of devoted worship, basically. But okay, let's get some final messages about some final advice for your future spouse when it comes to, what they learned from their sexual experiences. So what does pile 3's future spouse learn from their sexual experiences? We have bitch fire, stand up for yourself. So I'm getting that, honestly, that's mostly the vibe of, before they met this person, before they had this sort of first initial hookup that just sort of opened the floodgates, I think that they they weren't willing to stand up for themselves. They weren't really willing to walk towards people. They didn't really have the confidence sexually. I feel like maybe it was something that like just they kept hidden in a secret corridor in their mind, but they never actually wanted to step towards anyone sexually, romantically. But then this person happened, this experience happened, and then they were able to do it very freely. But yeah, so they have the ability, they were able to gain the ability to stand up for themselves and to like meaningfully seek out these connections. But I think that also they sort of they remained standing up for themselves when they remained stingy when it came to finding people to hook up with, so they stood up for themselves. They learned the ability to walk towards people and be confident and not be too sort of timid to walk towards people, but also they still would they gained the confidence, but it's not that they're going to just sort of be desperate and go for anyone anymore. They're standing up for themselves and they're being confident, they're stepping towards people, but it's not that anything goes now. They're still being very cognizant of who they step towards, because they still want that to be like a genuine sexual connection with like real chemistry. Lighthouse, don't doubt your worth. Yeah, so I think that I don't think that they really have a problem with doubting their worth, but I think that they have a problem with feeling like they'll be able to have this sort of sexual connection with anyone in the future. I think that this really was like this one time in the past really stands out to them, and they feel like ever since then they haven't been able to recreate that energy. And maybe it's because this person, maybe this person was also someone that they had just like any sort of like fleeting emotional attachment to, and maybe they also didn't realize that that's sort of what they're unconsciously seeking out in these sexual connections as well. But there's something of, they didn't doubt their worth, they just doubted the ability for it to actually happen. They doubted the fact that they'd actually be able to sexually connect with anyone like they did with this person in the future. Or they didn't think that they'd be able to sexually connect with anyone else other than this person. And I think that it's because they don't realize that they're actually emotionally connected to this person as well. Let's see if any other card wants to come out about pile number 3's advice for their future spouse. So we have stars. You can manifest your every wish. Yeah, so that's their advice. So before, these are sort of just like their energies. This is like sort of the sad ways that it left them, the sexual past. It left them feeling like they need to step towards people, and they're able to step towards people, but now they feel like, oh God. Now they feel like they're unable. They step towards people, yeah, but now like the people that they're stepping towards, they just aren't ever the people that they want them to be. They're not ever the people that they hope that they will be. They're not these people that they have this intense sexual chemistry with. They're just people that, maybe they have fine sex with them, but this person, I think it is a soul-based thing. I think it's like this person just had some sort of soul connection, some sort of deep bond. Like, it's giving me the vibe like your future spouse and this first person had they were from the same soul family, they had the same sort of sexual energy to them. And simply put, it's a sexual energy that this person was not able to find in any other person up until you. And so yeah, they're going to realize they can manifest their every wish. I mean, they're going to realize that they can manifest someone that they're able to have this wonderful sexual connection with, and they're able to have great sex with people, but also, I think that they're also learning to realize that sort of what they're missing from this thing is sort of that emotional connection. And so, yeah, they didn't really know that that's something that they cared about. They didn't know that that's something that, that they didn't realize that the emotional aspects, sort of that bond with this person, is what drew them to this person. They thought it was just sort of like a physical thing, a sexual thing, and so they just kept going towards hot people. But they didn't realize that actually they were attracted to this person's energy, this person had an energy to them. And so they, by meeting you, they're going to realize that they can manifest someone that they have that same sort of sexual energy with. And so they're going to be learning that they can manifest their every wish, and that they don't just have to, You know, they don't have to stay in this self-doubt. They don't have to doubt the fact that they'll come into union with someone that they're able to have beautiful sex with, but also like any amount of emotional connection. And I don't think that they're so, desperate for love. I don't really think that that's really on the top of their mind. But I think that what is on the top of their mind is that just intimacy, It's going to be the vibes that they're not sure if they're going to be able to be really that intimate with someone. Yeah. But all right. Pile number 3, I'm going to leave it here, you guys. I hope you liked that message. I hope it resonated. If it did, please do leave me a like, comment, subscribe, though definitely. I would love for you to subscribe so that I can keep in touch with your energy and, get a little closer to your energy so I can give you more readings in the future. But yeah, pile 3, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you have a nice day or night whenever you're watching this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Bye.